I just wanted to start by thanking you all for participating in the professional development that Diane Bartholomew did for each of us as it related to the use of assessment and its relation to BOC domains and AT competencies. So real quick, what I want to do is follow up on that and show you all how you can utilize MyGraceland test function to do some of those assessments. So this first part 1 video, what we're going to do is just show you how to simply create a test and how to pull some questions from the file cabinet, as well as how to create a section and how to randomize your test questions from a test bank. So let's just start with creating an actual test. So if I pull up any course, I just happen to select one here. I'm going to go to my coursework. I'm going to add an assignment. Okay, and I'm going to pick the online test format. I'm going to name it Sample 1. Okay. I already have a unit in here I put pre-class quizzes, so let's say I'm going to use this as a pre-class assessment type of strategy. Again, I could use this as a summative as well, but I'm choosing to do this as a pre-class quiz. Again, the type of homework, this is a quiz. However you want to set it up, that's totally up to you. You have to select a date in which it is due. So let's just say this is due tomorrow at roughly midnight. Okay. You can't pick this function yet. It's not until you build your actual test. But you are going to need to go to the online assessment options. And these are important, so I want you to note these. Again, as you look at the test review, it's totally up to you whether or not you want your students to be able to view the test. That's totally based on your objectives for the particular test or quiz. But here's our different options. You can if you give them multiple attempts, they can see their performance after each one as soon as they turn it in. Again, after it's fully graded. Or after the due date, meaning everybody's turned it in, they won't be able to see the correct answers till then. Again, totally up to you, however you want to use the function. Again, if you want them to see the correct answers, so again, it can be after the due date or any time after they review the test. Again, I would caution you with this, if you have the entire class taking it, is there opportunities for maybe some academic dishonesty if you allow them to view the correct answers right away. But again, it's totally up to you and what your goal is with a particular assessment piece. Again, there can be a time limit. This may discourage them from utilizing their textbooks or anything like that. Or again, you could also have proctored exams and things where they're doing this in class with you present. I'm going to show you again how to create sections, but you can shuffle sections. So if you don't want all the students to get the same questions and within the same groupings, you can add the shuffle function. I'm not going to use that for this particular case. I can lock the students out if they leave the screen. If there's concern about them maybe going and looking at the information up online, you can lock them out. So if they leave the screen, it's going to mark their score as they are right then and there. Again, you can have a security function if you want every student to have a certain security password for a certain test, and then that it keeps them from another person from maybe getting into that. You should not actually choose one of these two functions here. That's why it's in red. Again, there are opportunities for retakes. You can select how many times you want them to be able to retake it. They just take it the one time, or they get one retake, whatever. Again, solely up to you. You can choose whatever you want. So in this case, I may allow them one retake. And then again, how much time in between each one? Do you want them to be able to take it effectively right afterwards, or do you want them to have to wait hours? Again, this is totally up to you. Maybe I just want them to be able to take it right away again afterwards. If you want them to see in progress grades, you can show it. And then again, if you do allow multiple takes, what are you going to do? You're going to have them take the highest grade, the average grade, or the last grade received. Again, totally up to you. Maybe I want them to take the highest grade. So again, any specialized instructions, okay? Maybe I want them to choose the best answer. I'm sorry, this is the description. So this is maybe this is module 1, thorax, and then there's instructions, choose the best answer. Do not use your notes, etc. All right, so I'm going to save this assignment. From there, I now have this quiz. Okay, so let's start by maybe I want to add a section to this quiz. I can add it here. I'm going to go ahead and cancel that function, because let me do this here. Because here's my first section. I have section 1. I'm going to edit this one, and maybe I said it was on thorax. Maybe this section is on palpation. Again, I can create a test bank. So this depends. If I have 5 questions in palpation, but I only want them to have 1, I can go with the pooled function. Or if, let's say, I have 5 questions in palpation and I want them to have to take all of them, I would just leave it regular. Again, the question order, I can leave it standard. There's always 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5 stay the same at all times. Or I can go ahead and I can go random. So I can come in any random order. And again, here's if I want to change any time limit that goes along with it. I want them to do it in 1 minute. For that particular section, remember, this isn't for the whole test, it's for that particular section. Go back to the 1 minute, and oh, I got a freeze on my computer here. And I'll save that section. So here's my section, palpation. I want to add another section. So this one's going to be special tests. But maybe on this one, because it's special tests, I do want it to be pooled. I only want them to do 1. So let's say there's 5 special tests, but I only want them to do 1. So the number of questions to give is 1. And then again, I can assign a point value. Maybe I want that particular one to be worth 5 points. And again, they only have a minute. It's totally up to you, and I save this section. So here we are. We now have palpation. We now have special tests. And again, you can add whatever you want. But so within each one of these, I can add a question. I can do that however I want. And I'll get it more specific into the types of questions we can add in a second. But I also can import from a filing cabinet. So let's say you have a set test bank. I want to pull from this quiz here that I've saved in my filing cabinet. I pull up that quiz. I want this question, and that question, and I'm going to import them. Okay. What section would I like to add them to? I want to add them to my special tests, and I go ahead and use the import function. Okay, they've been imported. I go back to my test builder, and there they are. Okay. So again, this is how we go about building a test. So at that point, let's pretend I'm finished. I want to go ahead and activate it. And then I believe at this point in time, I should be able to go back to my coursework. And here it is, right here, pre-class quizzes. It's been activated, and it's due tomorrow. So that should be a very simple tour on how to create a test, how to create a section, and then how to pull a question from your filing cabinet. I hope that's helpful. The next part, we'll go ahead and show you how to create different types of questions.